What happens if they log out and wait until the next day?
So you can always log out, like resurrect a checkpoint effectively, or like log out and just wait for time. So like, it's possible to get out of a boss fight, right? Like you're not locked into that forever. So that being the case, like effectively, like if you know that you can't do it, you can get out. And this is sort of an interesting question because I know there are people who are kind of be like, oh, it would be nice if like once you've decided to do something, you're kind of committed to that action. But I just think that we probably didn't want to really go down that path because it would mean that like I feel like that would kind of probably feel a bit bad, I think.
Okay,
and like so the concern then
so just from understanding, so from the first thing you said, I was under the impression that if I go into a boss fight, let's say I'm going to fight the Shaper, right?
Yeah.
Either the Shaper dies or I die, but then that's not the case.
No, that's not the case. So you can actually like you can bail. That is the case. You can't portal, but you can choose to restart at checkpoint or like log out to back. Like if you log out. Okay, so if you just Alt F4, right? What'll happen is when you log back in, you'll be in exactly the same place you were, which is like. But that's more that the feature there is more about.
The game keeps. But I put it to window mode, but it keeps crashing. Oh my gosh! Come on, POE.
Out, like trying to make sure that you don't like lose your place when you're just playing, right? And you disconnect for a reason.
Yeah.
But if you want to choose to leave the fight, you can decide to do that. Like that is okay. And just another thing with that, by the way, is like I believe that the feature where if you lag, that the game gets paused. I believe that did get done, which means that even if you just have like internet lag, the actual server will pause while the lag is happening. So then, regardless of whether you get disconnected or not, you're not going to die during the middle of an internet lag spike. And
That's
I believe
good
that it might be like 100
guys.
milliseconds or something like that. Is like basically if your client's not responding to that amount of time, then effectively the whole instance just pauses and like we'll just wait until you're good before we keep going again. Yeah, so that's how that works basically. But yes, you can leave.
Yeah.
Better.
So, could you walk me through the difference real quick?
Ooh, that worked. All right, we're ready to go. Start. I'm gonna check what I was doing here. That's worse, right? Yeah. Okay, let's sell this stuff.
You getting by?
So will I have to log out and wait 15 minutes, or will it be hitting escape and then clicking like leave fight?
Yeah, so if you hit escape, there's a button there called respawn at checkpoint, and effectively that will just mean that you can, at any time you can choose to do that. Now, obviously the concern with that, like, and we've actually discussed this quite a lot internally about, like, should that be okay? Because there was, like, a whole discussion with this of, like, the fact that there's just a button you can do to press this kind of, like, would mean that, like, oh, it's like, even if you see, like, a slam coming, you'd be able to, like, push escape and just, like, press that button before it arrives. And that is the case. But the thing is, if we required you to log out and wait 15 minutes, that would kind of be lame too. Like, I don't really want to, like... And the counter argument to that one was like, oh, but like that's at least more friction to actually doing this. And it's like, well, yeah, but then do you really want the strategy to be that you have to log out and wait 15 minutes? Like, it's just kind of lame. So in the end, we kind of decided to do the more, I guess what I would call player-friendly thing of just like, you know, that option is there for you. You can leave if you want. So effectively, yeah, you
keep this. I might use
in some sense, I suppose you could say that that's kind of equivalent to the Alt F4 you could do in POE1. But you know, it's that's kind of where we ended up anyway.
So just to confirm, this does not kill you on hardcore, right? Oh, I lost audio.
Wait, no, it doesn't. Oh, sorry, yeah, it doesn't.
Okay.
But let me just think about this because I feel like I'm just getting a memory suddenly of us talking about that as well.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that that's I'm pretty sure that that's fine. But
because
I feel like I remember.
The concern I would have there of why that would be a bad thing, and I know a lot of people are against
we go for return to ship graveyard and I want to.
And I actually thought it would be something like a 2-second portal you'd have to cast. And then it would fully reset the fight, and you have to go again. The reason, personally, I'm not a big fan of like having to commit is that you end up over farming so hard to the point where you go in and you know there's a 0% chance of you dying, right? Like as a normal shaper for now.
Find fair grave.
Whereas like if you can die, it's a lot more fun being able to go in before you're ready. So that's awesome. I'm very, very happy with that answer.
I will mention, by the way, that there is a very old league flag. I don't know if it's exposed on the private league interface. It probably isn't, honestly. But there's a very odd league flag that actually does enable a timer when you disconnect before you actually get disconnected. So if we wanted to run a league that had that functionality of where like you have to commit to everything when you do it, like because you're staying in game, we actually could turn on a flag that would allow that. So I don't know if you'd want to run a gauntlet like that sometime, where you actually have to.
Bear Graves, we're arguing
like that.
That would be cool for a gauntlet. Yeah, that'd be perfect. That'd be perfect. I think that's really good for a gauntlet.
Right.
A quick question as well. In POE1 we have the 6-second disconnect timer. Is that accounted for with the 100 millisecond lag thing you talked about?
Okay, so effectively the 6-second disconnect timer is still like that is just like after 6 seconds of like you not being in game, then we just terminate the socket and you're gone. But because of the 100 millisecond pause thing existing now, effectively the 6-second thing doesn't really matter anymore because it's only important like because the instance is frozen.
Find his ass. He's down here. Must be up north then. Oh, there he is. Right next to the spawn.
Frankly, I would have been surprised if you hadn't recognized me. Yes, 'tis I, Captain Sigmund Fairgraves, wave tamer, pirate bane, and conveyor of civilization to barbaric lands. So, what am I doing here? Apart from blowing my own bugle? I'm marooned, languishing, thanks to a pair of pretty blue eyes. Stuck fast in the filthy mud of Rayclast, thanks to one sultry little slave girl. I liberated her from the flesh pits of Trathos, and she repaid me in full with sleight of hand and swift feet. Turned the coat of my first mate, took my hard-earned all-flame, and with it the wind out of me sails. Find my all-flame, I beg of you. Till I feel its warmth again, I'm trapped here, high and dry, until the sun's final setting.
All flame.
I hunted the... Farewell, farewell.
But I don't have to do this, right? Let's just do it. It was in a cave, I think.
Anyway, so all that's doing is just making it so that like, at some point we have to give up on the fact that you're not going to actually be able to come back again. In theory, we could actually increase that time now because like there's really no downside to it being that long.
I love that you can just spam it as much.
To recover, but we just haven't kind of done one thing or the other. But the thing that's going to matter for you really is just the fact that after 100 milliseconds, instance is paused, you're not going to die, and how long it takes before we like actually time your whole connection out is kind of not really relevant.
Turn down the sound.
Awesome. That's super cool. I can't remember in whose interview you were talking about it, but you expressed some interest in racing again and saying that that's something you've considered revisiting now. But obviously you were cognizant of the fact that it's not necessarily what's going to like bring people back or bring revenue to the company, right? And your company. So I wanted to suggest, have you thought about having a specific like battle pass maybe, or even one singular item for racing, and telling people, look, if there's interest, we'll bring back things like Descent, etc., based on how much it sells for. Then like the racing community can literally contribute as much or as little and as there is interest.
I think that's pretty interesting. I actually did have another idea like a long time ago, which I don't know, like this is a different idea, but we'll just see. I'm just gonna see what you think about it. Because we never actually did this, but it was a thing that I was interested in, and that was the idea of like effectively like pay to enter races, where it would be like, you know, like some number of cents to enter a race, and then you effectively, I mean, it's sort of similar to the thing that you were talking about there, I guess, except that instead of being for a whole season, it was just like individual races. And that was kind of an interesting idea that I was thinking that maybe people would be interested in, but I wasn't quite sure whether people in the community would like that or not. Like, it kind of wasn't clear to me. And so we're thinking like, oh, like 5 points to enter a race, and then the...
Alright, which way do we want it to go? We want it to get... Let's see if there's any attack speed. Oh, I should get the attack mastery. %, increase attack speed per enemy in close range. Attack skill costs life instead of 20% of mana. Range stance. On-wall strike skills target one additional nearby enemy. Let's try the attack speed. There's no more attacks. There's some attack speed here. So we're gonna go down there. Okay. Cool. Get back to Act 3 and finish the campaign. Search the dog.
Because of the fact that the rewards, so then effectively the rewards of the race would have to be like cosmetics, right? Because obviously we can't give you rewards in the form of anything that would be player power, given that you need...
One sec. Get some water. What are these guys talking about?
You need to pay MTX currency to enter. But effectively the the original race rewards were alt art uniques anyway, and like effectively if we remove the actual part where you get the actual unique out of it, in theory we could do like skins and stuff like that as part of the rewards. So we kind of discussed that, but I wasn't like whether I was just like very uncertain about whether the community would like hate this. So I'm kind of curious to hear your idea about what you think about it. I mean, the battle pass is similar, except that it's more of a like one-time purchase for a whole season, I assume.
Yeah, it's also, I was thinking more of like even if it starts out with like a cloak that you buy that isn't like this wouldn't depend on you being able to play or not. This is like if you want to see more of this in the future. I'm more of a fan of free entry and then having a way for people to support and just being open with like if this is something you guys are interested in, this is how you can show that you're interested in it. If not,
well, the battle pass thing, the battle thing's sort of interesting because it already kind of is similar to how the racing structure was anyway. Where you get points and then like at certain thresholds you get you know you get cosmetic. Yeah. So it actually probably does match more into it. I just mentioned the other one because it's something I thought of ages ago. I thought it would be interesting.
See what our guys have to say.
Now there's a familiar face. Before you say anything, yes, I did try to kill you. Inexcusable. I allowed pragmatism to overcome honor in a moment of desperation. Please accept.
What a disturbing little creature.
What do you say? Can the two of us make a fresh start?
I don't know.
Marvelous.
I'll never trust you again,
now,
buddy.
As you've clearly noticed, the All-Flame has given me another respite from oblivion.
I wanted to try
it's
earthquake thing.
Only. I am neither man nor spirit.
You can put it here, right?
A state that comes with some rather frustrating restrictions. I know we've only just been reacquainted, but to put no finer point on it, interested are we? Oh, splendid! In return, I have a gift or two that I may bestow upon you.
Earthquake. 10 mana.
Loosened fingers. All you need do is furnish me with a crystal decanter and a juicy piece of fruit. Two humble items that remain agonizingly out of reach for a man in my peculiar situation.
Yeah, you're stuck, but oh yeah, let's try it out.
Will you look at that?
Instead of the how much was this thing doing? Heavy strike. Heavy strike does 1,000.
Today as when I found it all those years ago.
Ball.
You may fault the man, but you can't fault his craft.
Let's just try it here for a bit. Good. Okay. Shit. So it's a lot like probably not smart to have this and this. Oh, it doesn't make sense. Alright, so what do I need to do? Travel to the Imperial Gardens, travel to Lunar's Temple. Lunar's Temple. Where's the Imperial Garden? Is it there? Yeah. Not here, right? Doors. Find the garden. The jardin.
To see, but you know that is an interesting idea. Like the racing battle, it's actually a pretty cool idea. Like I'm interested in this for sure. The main really with that is just that the amount of bandwidth we have for making microtransactions, which is what we need to make for this, is honestly surprisingly low. Like we're so it's so ridiculous in some ways that like for a company that makes money from cosmetics that we don't have more people just working on that stuff.
Yeah.
But you know, we effectively need more to be able to create more stuff like that, and it's like to already get more people for making existing cosmetics. So it's, you know, if we had infinite resources to make that stuff, I would absolutely do something like that. I think that's pretty interesting. So it's just a question of, you know, where we get the time.
Yeah, that's fair. Awesome. It's just I'm such a big fan of racing, and I know a lot of people
Right.
wanted to bring that up.
It is cool.
I have a question from a community member in full caps lock.
Sweet.
How do
Always the
character
best way.
names? How do character names work? Is it the same as POE1, or is it #1254, where multiple people can be the same name? So obviously, like our accounts are hashtag now. Are our names still unique?
Oh, another.
So we decided to just keep the names the same way they worked before in POE1, for now at least. And the reason why is because, so with account names, you never really have to refer to account names very much while actually typing.
Yeah.
So that we wouldn't have had to worry about all the concerns that come around having to like know people's discriminators and having to like, you know, worry about all that sort of thing.
Yeah.
With character
Probably
names,
go
there's a few
check
other
on my
details. So one of the-
town. Let's get the fruit. Where is the fruit tree? Where is the fruity tree? Oh, here we go. Pink? No. A locked door. What am I looking? Come on, you plum. Right. Big strike. Oh. Dead end. Where can it be?
Them is that they expire, so you don't have the problem where the space just you know exists. I assume you knew that about character name expiration, because
I thought that was just done in waves.
it's not done in waves. So effectively, 1 year after the character name is after the character has not been logged into, it goes into a pool of names that someone else could create if they want to, and if they then do that, then the name gets expired for you. So effectively, like over time, like names will free up again. So that's the way that works. It's actually just as I said, it's just as soon as you haven't logged into a character for a year, that's when
the character or the account.
The character.
Wow, okay.
So I believe that's how it, at least I think so. It's been a little while since I thought about this, but yeah, I'm pretty sure that that's the way that one works. And yeah, so because of that, like, I just don't have quite exactly the same problem as account names do. And as I said, the character names would be more annoying because that's kind of how you know. That's kind of how you refer to people
Still misses sometimes.
with League. So we kind of decided to do
be
that.
up here,
That being said, if it became like a real problem, I'm open to the idea of doing the whole discriminator on character name thing. It's just that it would mean that you'd have to then have a situation where it's like whenever you're doing a whisper, you'd have to like know, like, because you have to have like autocomplete for this, right? Like you can't have discriminate autocomplete, and then that means you have to have all the whole thing of like, okay, are they in a friends list? Are they in the guild? Are they in your party? Have they talked in chat
Give
recently?
the people what they want, Jono.
Like, all of that stuff would have to go in the pool of things that you autocomplete for. And I mean, look, it's like how Discord used to be, right? When it had stuff. So there's basically just a bunch of work that you'd have to do there. And I mean, we could do that stuff if we felt like we needed to, but we're going to try without for the time being.
Cool.
And see how that goes. And you know, like if it's like a real problem, then we can always change it.
There are some audio issues, by the way. I don't know if the mic's too far away or something, but you're cutting out a little bit.
No, he's
I'll
not.
try that. Hopefully that. Sorry about that. I'm not sure what to do about it.
It's not too bad. It's just a lot of people are commenting on it.
Fair enough.
Awesome. So another question with that are, like, for example, I have the name Scissorin right now in POE1. Will I have that in
what's the
POE2,
next one?
or is it like fresh start for everyone, and there will be a character in POE1 and a character in POE2?
Well, I can try the labyrinth.
Yeah, so
again.
the characters are separated in POE1 and 2. The databases are just completely independent. So you'll have to race to get that one, I guess.
All right, I'm not getting that one. Cool. So, a few other questions about runes. So runes, they're obviously like replacing the crafting bench, and
I need to go back to the dock
in a way. And can you override them? Like, can I put in a new one over it if I want to change later?
You can't. So that's something that I guess we could potentially do though. Like, I don't think I'm.
What Third Race have to say?
Is it not the most delectable fruit that you've ever seen? No? Perhaps the glass of hope is for my eyes only. Wondrous! Nothing bonds two souls more soundly than murder. For that reason alone, I knew you could be relied upon. Now, for a little amateur vintnering. A quick squeeze of the plum, like so, into the decanter. Oh my! Look how it transmutes the juice so swiftly.
Guy loves his fruit, eh?
To spectral, effortless, and what an aroma! Imminent death never.
Oh no, it cancelled. All right, so what do I want here? Probably maximum life, right?
A toast to swift endings and promising new beginnings. Oh, and you might want to avert your gaze once I have quaffed this diabolical brew. I doubt that my return to solidarity will be a pretty one.
Pretty cool.
Right. As I used to say,
Pretty cool.
dens of Trathus. Bottoms up, girls.
This is. Oh.
To live too long is to live in pain.
I wanted to see what resistance is. Pretty trash. Crusader helmet. Bunch of garbage here. Okay, let's jump to the town, sell that stuff, and then we head temple.
How you going? Stay out of the shadows.
This was, it was in the garden. We.
Against it, I'd actually have to talk to to Rishi and Mark about whether or not we'd want to allow that, but currently you can't at least.
So yeah, I'm very curious about this because, from my understanding, one of the main reasons that you wanted to remove sockets from gear was that you really wanted to have this new thing where you find a gear upgrade, you don't need to sync it, you don't need to like get it exactly how you need it to be, you just equip it. But I feel like I actually love the concept of runes, but I feel like a little bit about how they systematically work sort of ends up canceling this, right? Where I will not be able to actually pick up an item and, wow, this is an upgrade. I will have to fix my runes. Maybe I have to farm them.
I see what you mean, but I don't think it's the same, because the thing with so a couple of things with this. One of them is that when we're talking about the whole like picking up an item and having to change stuff, what that was mostly around is the idea that, okay, like socket colors and so on, right? Like it meant that you had to change, like, either you have to chromatic stuff until the point where like you've actually got exactly what you had before, or you have, which is like definitely way more annoying than having to just use a couple of currency items on your on your item, right? Like chromaticking to get to the right state like could be like very difficult. But or the other thing you might have to do is to just rearrange everything in your character and like, oh, this goes here, that goes there. Like I use different supports, something like that, right? So to me, that was like a much more arduous process than what this is, because effectively you're going to have the currency that allows you to add sockets to items. It's not hard to get that currency. Like in the early game, it's a little bit more restricted, but effectively you're definitely going to buy, as you go through the game, you're going to have that currency in abundance, I would say. So I don't think it's like necessarily a problem like doing that. But also, you were about to say something there.
Yeah, so
we don't know how
especially with resistances and stuff, I'm still a little bit worried about this because you don't have the ability to change that later.
So effectively, in terms of fixing resistances, the sockets are more of a thing that you would be worried about early game for those kinds of stats.
Wait.
Like
I need to change an option here because this is pissing me off. I still don't know where. Wait. Option. UI. Where is the option to make items disappear? Item. Oh. Item build. Oh. No, did I crash it? Oh, fuck's sake. God damn.
when I say early game, I kind of mean like during the campaign, right? Because during the campaign, you're like, okay, I've got low on something that I'm too worried about overall, like as I'm changing items going up, because as you're going through the campaign, you're finding new base types, you're getting new things, you're kind of constantly upgrading, and it kind of hasn't really ended up being a thing where I'm worried about that. If you equip a new item and you're like, I lack this resistance, generally speaking, I'll like, oh, okay, well, I'll add another socket or two to this, and then I'll get the resistance rune out of my stash and use that. So it's kind of ended up being a thing where like just fixing that resistance tends to be a problem that you do after deciding to upgrade anyway. So that's kind of been okay. And it's worth mentioning that with the runes, because they're kind of like, so at early game, they're more powerful than they are at late game because the values, there's only one value of each for each type.
Yeah.
So that means is that like early game, the resistances you're getting from one of these resistance runes is like extremely huge relative to the other resistance sources you would get. But as you get later into the game, the runes are less effective at solving that problem because the numbers are not stacking up compared to the mods you could get. And so as you get towards the later game, the things that you're going to be wanting to be socketing are more of the soul cores, which have the like different mods that aren't kind of designed to fix those early game problems. And also your character has more mods overall and is generally kind of like more in a good place. So it really is like, in terms of like fixing problems you have, it's more of a like, you know, first sort of 30-40 levels kind of type deal rather than after that, if you know what I mean. So I think purpose, they work really, really well. as for changing them, I suppose we could allow it. I don't actually see a reason why we couldn't do that, although as I said, I haven't talked to Mark and Rishi about it. But I guess the feeling here is that because you got to choose it, it's not quite the same as feeling like you need to be able to remove a mod that you would have from one of the random sources, where we have like some random ways to get rid of it. So that was kind of the reason why we're thinking that it can go the way that it has. But as I said, I don't think there's necessarily a downside to allowing you to replace it. So maybe that is fine. I just haven't thought all through all the repercussions of that yet.
Yeah, I mean, for example, like I normally play SSF. Well, actually, I have been playing a little bit more trade lately, and especially for trade, right? You could see like a perfect item you want to buy of somebody, but they've like got these like garbage runes in it. So I could see that being an issue as well. It's definitely like I'm trying to go into POE2 with the approach like, well, I haven't played it enough. I'll see how it is. But that is definitely something I'm very worried about, and hopefully something you'd be open to feedback with when we actually try it.
Right. I mean, I'm definitely always open to the feedback of that. Yeah. But as I said, I think from actually trying it myself, that hasn't been a problem I've run into particularly. But, you know, I guess we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. That's fair. How rare are like how rare are the rarest runes, basically?
Rare are the
so
rarest
runes themselves are not particularly rare. You get them fairly often. Like, I mean, you'll get, I mean, in Act 1, you'll find 4 or 5 of them probably, and then it only increases from there as you get more monster density and so on. So like you're finding them, and generally speaking, like if you're in Act 2, like maybe there'll be a rune that you want that you don't have, but then by the time you're in Act 3, I would say you probably have the runes that you need. Like they're generally available. It's really the soul cores that are the ones that are like the, you know, it's actually a struggle to find the ones you need of these, like because that's where the kind of, and you know, the higher level gameplay is.
Oh, that looks like a lovely
and would you say there are soul cores
there
that are at the rarity of like Eternal Orb, Divine Orb, like that type of stuff?
I don't know the actual numbers, but I would definitely think so. Like, there's definitely there are definitely hard to find ones for sure.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Awesome. Next up, how does like stacking ailment works? Or, like stacking multiple at the same.
Stacking ailment.
Right. So effectively, so in general, ailments don't stack, right? In order to get the ability to stack them, there has to be some kind of mechanic you're getting.
Yep.
Usually that mechanic will have some kind of like that mechanic may have some kind of explanation for like any specific details you have to be aware of. But I guess the main thing to understand is that if you're doing something like stacking poison, the way that works is that all of the poisons that you do will always be on the monster.
Yeah.
And they're all running. But whatever, if you've got the ability to stack 2 poisons, then whatever the 2 largest poisons that you currently have that are on there, those will be the active ones. And then when one of those falls off, then the next largest will take its place effectively. So that kind of means that like that's kind of, I believe, sort of generally how like buffs work in PoE, where you've got like, you know, if you can have multiple buffs on a thing, but only one of them is active at a time. So in the case where you're allowed to have more than one, it's just effectively whatever the highest N buffs are that are on the character, that's the ones that you get effectively.
Cool. Well, that's good.
Yeah, so I don't know if there's anything else you want to know about that, but
no, not that I can think of. I think that answers that. That's really good.
Sure, fair enough.
Another question from the community: does mana and elemental leech exist?
So mana leech is a thing, but only for attacks.
Yeah.
And elemental leech, I believe, is a thing. There are probably. I believe there are probably like various mechanics around that will give you elemental leech. It's definitely going to be a lot harder. But what we're trying to avoid is mana leech for spells, because that can kind of like defeat a lot of mechanics and so on. So effectively, that's the main thing. Everything else is fair game, but we just have to, you know, like it just depends on where it comes from. So yeah, that's kind of the basic idea.
It would be chaos.
Okay, cool. I know a lot of people are hoping for a spell mana leech, so
that's the thing we don't want to do.
Yeah. Okay, next up, a few questions about crit actually. In PoE1, it's almost like when you're building a crit build, you're supposed to be 100% crit. Is that the same in PoE2?
I would say that it's kind of more like earlier PoE1, how it used to be, where it's like you can get there with various mechanics, but I would say that it's like it may not be the most optimal thing to do, just because like the stuff you're sacrificing might be too much in order to do that. Yeah. Especially when you've got like conditional crit mechanics, getting to 100% isn't so bad, but like you're not always going to be meeting those conditions, if you know what I mean. Yeah, I would say that like we've tried to kind of keep things a little bit more in line in terms of having more like, as I said, just like the controlling the sources a little bit better and kind of making sure that like getting
The
to 100% is actually
sources.
like a real, like, as I said, possible but kind of not expected. So I imagine the sort of expected crit would be a bit lower than that. And yeah, trying to increase beyond that is kind of not hugely valuable.
More than 100?
What's the main reason they're indifferent? Is that just to like retain player power and not let it get out of control early?
I wouldn't say that exactly. I think
crit
it's more just that like
chance.
ideally every mechanic.
You crit or you
So
don't.
like I'm
right?
just a general. I am generally in favor of the idea that like there's the decision to not increase something more is not because you run out of sources of it, but because like there's
I think we found
like
her.
a reason that you don't want to do that because what the trade-offs are too much. And so effectively by keeping the values that you're kind of like can easily get to a sort of certain midpoint, you just avoid this, like you just sort of make it so you get that trade-off, like you have to make that trade-off towards the end of the range. So it's effectively like that. I think that's kind of really the main reason. Like, it's been a little while since I talked about this with anyone, but yeah, like that's kind of really what it came down to. We just kind of wanted to make 100% crit more of a like this is a very unusual situation rather than this is a common situation.
Okay. And do you think part of that is as well that, at least in POE1, crit feels like the end game? Like, you should go crit at some point, and you kind of want to avoid that as well? Is that part of it at all? Or?
Well, we're certainly trying to make it so that crit is not the only build. There was actually a thing that we changed. So, you know, so here's a random thing for you. We actually had the change for a little while where so crit modifiers, and I need to get this correct. Like, there are various crit suffixes in POE1, and so there was this feeling that in POE1 that if you're a crit build, you've got, like, you can make your build more powerful than what non-crit builds can, because the suffixes that are available to you as a crit build are, like, more powerful than what the suffixes are available to you as a not crit build.
Yeah.
And so because of that, we actually decided, initially, to move crit stuff all to be prefixes as well, to effectively compete with the other prefixes that you could get that all increase damage, right?
Damn you.
And so we did this for a while, and
I will take everything Dominus
we actually found that like
from me.
it actually made weapon rolling way less fun. Like, in theory, what it was doing was making it so that, okay, you could get a crit weapon or you could get, like, a not crit weapon, and, like, they were kind of competing with each other. And, like, we did all the math, and we're like, hey, look, now we've made it so that crit builds and non-crit builds are more in line with each other, and they have the same level of power and items and so on. And we kind of thought that we'd done a good thing there. And then at some point, we just realized, like, why is it the weapons just don't feel as fun to find in POE2 as they do in POE1? And then we realized that, like, this is actually part of the problem. So we actually reversed that decision and moved the crit stuff back to be suffixes again. And then we've kind of tried to make sure that the suffix pool is actually reasonable in other ways for the other, like, making sure that the suffixes are actually like make sense and there's powerful versions of like ideally it's like there should be there should be a level that each suffix can get to that is exciting, right? Like, and so like the question we have to ask ourselves.
He's a noob. He's learning the game. Okay, got the tower key. What is the sword? 57 dex. Shouldn't be too hard to get. Oh. It's not that much better. The added physical. Oh, it's pretty crazy actually. How can I get some dex? Maybe with this point. X. Already took this dex here. Is there more? Dex somewhere. Strength. Dex. Not sex. Dex. Dexterity. +5 to dexterity per allocated mastery passive skill. Maybe not. Yeah, sorry, I paused it. Turn that down a bit. Barbronian is the name. Good, thanks, mate. Where can I get decks in here? There. Doesn't make sense to path all the way up there just for the sword. I don't think we're gonna take the sword for now. Travel to the Sarn encampment. Basically not long, eh? Just kind of started. I played one character before till level 50, and now I'm like level 33, so yeah, very new to this game, and I'm not following a guide, so it's very slow going. Just wanna kind of have fun and learn the game, you know. I hate following guides too much, because then you're just like clicking someone else's game instead of playing the game itself. Even if my character is gonna suck, I'd rather suck and have fun than just click someone else's build. Purity of Fire. Your nearby allies gain 22% additional fire resistance. Could be cool at some point. Go back home here. Oh yeah, that's good, man. It's pretty crazy game. It's got so much depth. I mean, it's 10 years of like stuff stacked on top of each other.
Piety's off to meet the maker, is she? I'd love to be a fly on the wall of that little chat.
What other games do you play? It doesn't make sense to try and craft on this guy. Maybe. I might keep the sword just to... in case I want 51 armor. Oop.
Bring me back something nice, eh?
Alright, so wait, there was a thing that you can make rare. It's a normal item too. Rare. Upgrades a normal item to a rare item. Let's try that. Boo! Holy shit! Look at that! 483 armor. 2 resistances. Increased stun. What? That's madness. Alright, but I lose a socket. Can you add sockets? Socket. Reforges the links between sockets. Reforges the color of socket. Reforges the number of socket. This one. Oh yeah, yeah, I do play FPS. I haven't played FPS in a while. I played a bit the new Call of Duty season, or not season, but like Black Ops 6. It's fun. I didn't stream it yet, really. I feel like you have to go really sweaty to make any progress in Call of Duty. Like practice, you know. Let's try this. Oh! And then you can do the link, right? What if I do it again? If it's gonna be a 4-link? 4-link! 4-link! Amazing! This... Okay. So I've never done this part in the game. And that's actually super fun. Adam Fredbra, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it, mate. So this is actually super fun. I wonder how it's gonna play in the new game in POE2 without that, you know what I mean? Hopefully there's still gonna be some interesting. So let's see if I swap out my armor here. What it's gonna change to. 700. Chaos resistance goes up. Gold goes down. But that's fine for now. I can add another red gem in here. Do I have another red support? Thank you, thank you. Support. This is a... No, not. No. Where do I get more red support gems? Maybe vendors have some. Go check. So now I can sell this.
You looking sharp?
Sell the chest.
Bring me back something nice.
You have claimed the most worthy of prey, Makoru. Piety, the
I
mistress
think that's
of
Act
corruption.
3, right?
I'm not saying the war is over, but you've given Rayclast a much-needed respite. Because of you, this land lives to see another dawn. And don't forget that you've done Grigor and Clarissa a justice of some magnitude. They will wish to speak to you. Be well.
Thank you very much. Oh wait, I wanted to see if I can
Greetings.
buy some
Hello.
gems from someone here.
Don't do anything I would.
Wherever he is, I'm sure Tolman knows what you've done. I know you didn't do it for him, or for me. It doesn't matter. Piety's reign of cruelty is over. Thank you.
My pleasure. Do you have gems for me? Yes. Are there any supports here? Or yes. No. Yeah, battle mage cry support. Support spells. Go. Causing them to be triggered. Cannot support skills used by totems, traps, mines. Support skills deal 44% less damage. Support spells are triggered by attacks. Nope. So exertion. Support skills have a 2% increased cooldown recovery rate. Supported war cries are triggered when cooldowns are. No. General's cry. Supported strike skills cannot target additional enemies. Attacks with supported skills count as extended support skills, deal 59% damage. Support skills used by Mirage warriors summoned by General. That doesn't make sense. Consecrated path. Base duration for 50% of physical damage converted to fire damage. Deals up to 20% more fire damage with hit. Closer target. We can try it out. Or maybe if it was on...
See you.
It's not a support though. Stupid. Stupid. But I can try out that skill anyway, just to see what it does. I don't have a channel for Discord right now. But yeah, sure, I could add you.
Piety dies amongst her abominations, her warped dream taunting her, maddeningly out of reach. As a poet, I'm fond of that creed of justice. Here, the executioner needs recompense.
Skill point, oh yeah. Okay, let's see. Where do I want to put this? I think I want to get the melee damage up. Splash to surrounding targets. That, okay, that's gonna be epic. I need to get this. Now I need to see if I can do the Ascension trial. Adam Fart. Sorry. Alright, Ascension. I think that's correct. Should have it.
The just goddess presides over us all. The future of the Empire.
Alright. Let's see if I can do this now. First time I failed. I wanted to try this thing. Just does another splash damage thing, right? Don't think it's worth it. Oh, unique.
Justice.
Okay, so that burns a lot. Don't run on that thing. For some reason I thought I had like dodge roll and I could roll into the
goddess is watching.
Not the right game for that. Let's try again. Maybe that sword. It's also the dex. You really don't want me to have a sword as a barbarian.
My mana is gone.
Okay. Oh. I don't know what I'm doing here. I'm supposed to be trying to get like a switch or something. Oh. Holy shit. It's got some stuff in here. That could be a good axe, actually. Adds fire damage. Critical strike chance, 21%. Accuracy rating. That might actually be good. Let's see how much it changes my damage. I'll get there eventually, you know. Nothing for now. I mean, I have this, you know. A little bit of a thing, but I need to get more stuff for sure. Let's check this belt out. Level 24. Armor, maximum energy shield. No, that's dog shit. Wait, this helmet. Oh, no, evasion. That's dexterity though, so it means that I can add the swords. Let's see, so 378. What, just changing this helmet gave me 432. And then what does the sword give me? Oh, that might be worth it, eh? 720. Holy shit. Alright. Okay. Now we're rocking. Momentum. That's crazy damage increase. I didn't think it would be that much, but it was. Heavy strike. I don't have any supports for those now. Magic. Oh, I finally got a Regal Orb. Faster attack support. So maybe, wait, maybe I can swap out. I don't know, Earthquake I'm not using either. The double strike is something I have, so I can put that there. So heavy strike, double strikes. Maybe ground slam is better. Like playing some musical chairs here. Faster attack support. I had that on the leap slam. I want to see what this does. Quality 20%. Sure. What quality does? Oh, you can't. Already got 20%. Okay. Door is locked up. Oh wait, I think I can apply a cosmetic to this thing. It looks super awesome. Boom. Look at that. Yeah. Okay, now let me see what I've done to my skills. I can't use the skill with the sword. That sucks. But how much does Heavy Slam do right now? 2,000? I don't have much AoE with this guy. Can still do a lot. Alright, so let's make Heavy Slam. Then one Molten Shell. Alright. That kind of sucks, but let's try it out. That still does AoE, but we're kind of good. This is very slow.
I cannot carry this. My mana is gone.
Oh! That was bleeding and I almost died from running. Interesting. So what if I weapon swap? Is there a button for weapon swap? Then I can use Ground Slam on a weapon swap. Options. Input mouse and keyboard. There a weapon swap. Weapon swap. X. Alright. So if I put this here. No, sorry, this one. And then give it a support. It's green. Faster attack. So then heavy strike we can put here, and we can give it all these guys. It does more damage. Okay, so then when I have this weapon, I want to do heavy strike. Middle mouse is going to be the Vol skill. Right click's gonna be the AoE. 1 will stay that. 2 can be the double strike. For 3, we don't have anything for 3 right now. Let's swap. So for this one, we're gonna put ground slam, ball ground slam. Right click, we'll put the same. Oh, we don't have that skill right now. Because it's on the weapon, right? Just put the normal. Normal double strike. No. Huh. Better to keep it the same, right? So single target AoE. It's kind of what we're going for. Keep leap. Oh, wait, leap can't be in the weapon. Keep slam. Can't be in here. So let's put it here. Termination. So this one, molten shell. Also don't put it there. Double strike. Termination keeps getting double strike. Molten shell. Earthquake. Axe, mace. Work. Sword. You can add consecrated path now onto the sword. Check out the gloves. Strength, evasion rating, cold resistance. It's going to cover cold damage. Inflicts 100% cold damage to melee attackers. Wait, wasn't this better? Defense. Seems better. Okay, let's try it out. So, swap. Oh, 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 oh. Swap.
I cannot carry this.
Swap. The swapping, it's not right.
Oh, the weary traveler draws close to the end of the path. When one defiles the effigy, one defiles the Emperor.
Seems a bit better than before.
You are inexhaustible. Those who stand should never outnumber those who kneel.
Okay, so far so good. Let me guess, you're a graphic designer, right? Single target. Imp dagger. That deletes them. Haha, great. But I didn't want to get too specific yet with my skills because I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Ah. This thing can actually be arranged.
Cannot carry this.
Wild stuff. Well, it's lunchtime. I need to go eat some food. Finish this. Attendance shit. I need to get out of here. Oh man. There we go. Oh, everything leveled.
When the time comes to strike, an emperor strikes without hesitation. To entertain doubt is to dance with death.
Splash on target.
Slowness lends strength to one's enemies. You are inexhaustible. Second chances.
Try and push this quickly. Hope it's north. Oh man, the switches here. The timed. If not, pull the lever. Okay, go through. Door. One lever. Two levers. Run, run, run. Nice. Now flash damage on that melee hit is epic. Just rushing to finish this trial right now. Won't be bothered with anything else. Another map? Come on. see it's south. I don't care about loot right now, I just want to finish the trial. Locked. Is it open? No. Treasure key. I want to get out of here. Does not seem to be the place I want to be. I mean, it could be down there. Where's it going to rush? Ah, there we go. Come on. I got you baited.